Let's do a quick check-in with how you're doing with business and sanity. Where are you at?
No business here. I've got a pile of paperwork I have to bring home. I have to hire 7 teachers. You probably saw that by Friday. And I've got 3 on quarantine for COVID right now. It's like, oh my God. So I haven't had a chance to do anything with business. I feel bad, but I've got to keep my job and keep going. So my regular job for now.
Are you literally working every extra minute that you can when you're not at work?
What's that?
Are you working like every extra minute you have when you're not at work?
Like for my work, my regular work?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing phone interviews. I'm going online. I'm trying to recruit because we didn't anticipate all these people not coming back. Either they can't come back because they're afraid, or they don't want, or their kids are in school or doing homeschool or virtual school, so they have to be home with their young kids. So this COVID thing has just thrown us for a loop.
Yeah.
And a lot of these Montessori teachers, I don't know if it's a trend or what, but a lot of them, they have money and they don't need to work. You know what I mean? So it's not an incentive for them to come back. And a lot of them are very frightened about coming back. We've been live since June, and we're doing well, as far as COVID protocol and everything. We haven't had any cases. These people that are on quarantine have been exposed somewhere other than school because they haven't been back to school.
Are they sick, or is it just?
A couple of them had it, but they're still on quarantine. They're waiting for their second or their negative test to come back. And a couple of them have been exposed. So they're just waiting to see if they come down with anything, but we're asking that they stay home.
I've heard about a lot
for 14 days.
Positives. That's all I got to say about that. There's a lot of positives out there. So it's very sketchy. Anyway, enough of that. All right, how about everyone else?
I can go.
Oh, go ahead, Christy.
Oh, sorry. Can you actually hear me?
Yep.
Now we can't.
Now we can't. You're frozen.
Okay. How about you, Melissa, then?
My building right now. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. It's very contentious in my building with just masks and all that kind of stuff. Like 3 teachers were standing in a classroom today, and mind you, there's no students in the building. We were reprimanded by another teacher because we didn't have our masks on, and I just can't deal with that. Like, that's what's got me, like, I don't know. So I'm trying to just be the good person that I'm supposed to be there. And yeah, so, but, and then Ronnie and I did not have a chance to chat today. So we are gonna, I said, I did see her and said, let's make sure we talk tomorrow. So
how are you when you get home? Like, when you get home, are you feeling fried? Are you still feeling energized about your business? I'm getting a massage as we talk, by the way. So.
I think I'm drained. I want to work the business, but I'm just like, it's so mentally draining this week with the emotions and all that kind of stuff, and the overwhelmed and not knowing what I'm doing at work.
Yeah. So that's, I think, what, that's what we need to, I think that's why we need a call like this, so that we can shore it up and get rid of the fluff. And for me, this is how I operate. When I have a plan, I feel a lot more energized, even when I'm really busy. If I have a plan and I know what's going on and I've got it mapped out, and keeping it simple, that we can do all the things super simply. It doesn't have to be super complicated. That we can sift out all the fluffy stuff when we're feeling overwhelmed, busy, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
Back to reality with a twist.
Oh yeah.
Makes me think of a drink.
I know. Which I'm trying not to drink tonight. I feel like an alcoholic. Day 2 with no alcohol.
I made brownies because it was like, okay, if I'm going into the school and then we have all these virtual meetings, by the time I get home, drink, brownie, drink.
Oh gosh.
I'll have a brownie.
I pick the drink every time.
I gotta pick some. Oh no, that's Thursday. I keep thinking today is Wednesday. Nobody has responded back to me, so I've got a bunch of follow-ups to do tonight for people. I think those that are in education are just overwhelmed and just like, oh my goodness, I don't know, I can add one more thing. Sunday I was down for the count, migraine and allergies, just the weather change gets me. I don't know, it's so bad. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you've been really consistent though, Melissa. I mean, yeah. You have been, you've been doing those power hours.
Yeah, and I have found, I told Sarah Bry that I found, so even if nobody joins me, it is making me committed to be there so that people that want to join can, and I'm getting more stuff done. So that accountability. My friend uploaded that virtual vendor thing. So anybody that wants to join to see what this poor thing is and what they do, it's all the whole month of September. There's different dates. So she has that Facebook Live thing going. It's pretty interesting. The Plexus lady laid out what she was going to do. And I'm like, really? That's what Plexus is?
Cool. That's awesome.
So
how was teaching for you, Sarah, this week?
Well, today was day 2.
How'd it go?
It's good. Like, I work with 8-year-olds and they've been amazing. They've been really, really good. And I know they have a lot of parent support. So I find that I'm struggling. When we get into the groove, I'll be online from 8:30 to 11:30 with like a 15-minute break because I have small groups, but so they won't be online that much. But like I have an hour lunch. So right now I'm doing a lot of planning with other teachers. So I got home at like 6:30.
Yeah.
I worked a 10-hour day. But an hour of that was a call with Lori Smith. So I'm able to, I think in the afternoons, I'm going to be able to do power pockets for coaching. So it's good. Last year I did that for my lunch. I worked every single lunch hour, which is why I'm glad we're doing this, because my lunch was 20 minutes and every single lunch, well, I guess the year before, not last year because of my class, but I would work. And you can build a business by working 15 minutes a day, by being consistent. I think it just depends on your actions that you're with what you're doing. So,
yep.
And then like the one day, I knew Melissa was going to be on a call, on a power hour, and I was really drained. I was so tired, but I got on that call and I started to get energy.
Yeah.
Like right now, so I'm exhausted right now, but I know I'll get some energy from this.
Yeah.
So I just need to stay plugged into these.
And I love that you're doing those power hours, Melissa, because even though like I got on for like 20 minutes last night, even though you're like, it's going to pick up momentum. If you're consistent with it, people are going to start hopping on, and it's going to get our team a little bit more routine. And I think that, and I also think, your long days, Sarah, hopefully will start diminishing over the next month or so, once we get into routine. But
yeah, I don't know what my day's gonna look like. I don't know how long of a lunch, because at this point it sounds like I'm gonna be in the classroom from 7:30. Okay, my contract hours don't start till 8 o'clock. What? No. If I'm going to be in at 7:30, you're paying me more.
Yeah.
And I have to eat with the kids. I don't eat with the kids. And I have to take care of their lunch because they're going to be in the room. I'm just like, okay, so when do I have me
Right.
out of the room? I'll go sit in my car. I don't care. But just away from the kids to be an adult.
Yeah.
Because last year I was checking in at my lunch on different things and then moving on because I had to get ready for the afternoon. But right now, like, I don't understand how the day's supposed to go. Can you explain to me, please?
Right. So we have a lot of things up in the air. So I'm hoping tonight we can kind of get at least our end of it figured out. So if you have a planner, you guys all have planners. And Stephanie, this might be more so to put into action after the craziness of all your hiring
I
happens.
just need to get back to school and then I'll be okay. I've got like a week to power this out and then back to, because I need money. I need I need more money. So I need to make this work.
I'm actually going to be buying an Erin Condren big, huge planner because though that is like, gets me excited. So I'm going to buy one of those bad boys. And then all the things that I'm doing tonight, because like I said at the beginning, like this is what I used to do. And I really stayed on track. So I'm going to share it and I'm going to put it back in action. So this is not just, no, I do not like the sheet planner at all. I don't. I used it for like 2 weeks and
I have that.
I mean, it's good for, it is good for evaluating your, what I did like is it made me pay attention to which posts were most popular. And, but as far as like planning and tracking my business activities, like, I don't know, it didn't get me inspired. I did like the fact that it was allowing me to look and you're supposed to like plan out your posts. I'm not good at that. I actually am way better organically. Like when I feel the feeling, I have to have the feeling about it. I can't be like, well, let's focus on this topic, this topic, this topic, and this topic. And that's just me. I don't know how you guys operate, but I think we're all a little different with that probably.
Well, I have that planner and I think it's really, really good. My issue when I'm back to work is there's such little time because even virtual, like I'm working 10 hours a day. I have 3 kids who I'm trying to schedule and help with their work. Like Brody comes to school with me. So there's very little time, and that sheet planner, is that what it's called? It's right over here on my shelf. So I don't have time right now to evaluate all my posts, and it probably would help me to plan them out, but I have to do, like, honestly, I make a list during the school year of the 3 top things that I have to do.
Yeah.
And that's all I get to. And those are never on my top 3. I feel like I would love to really tackle that, and I think it would help my Instagram and my engagement and tracking all of that, but I have to learn it first.
Yeah.
I just think, God, if I was working full time or something, then it would be amazing.
Well, 100%, because I think you're smart though, Sarah, because, and that's one thing we'll talk about. I talked about my life coaching call last night, like eat that frog, the things that you need to do, you need to identify the top, absolute, most important activities that's going to drive your business forward. Drive your business forward. They have to be done, like the no matter what. Evaluating my posts was not driving my, I mean, it will eventually help, but sorry, I'm reading the chat. Will eventually, but I agree, Sarah, 100%. It is helpful, but it's right now in my stage of life, it's not. So I need like a planner. So anyway, figure out what's going to work for you. That's going to be my advice. All right, I'm going to share my screen so I can.
So I have another question about your planner.
Yeah.
I know Erin Conrad, yeah. But how do you have a monthly and then a day? Do you?
I haven't ordered it yet. You know, actually, I'll show you it. It's, you know, let me share my screen. It's got everything. It's expensive.
Yeah, I know. I got it one year.
It's like $65. Is it sharing screen yet? Can you guys see?
Yes.
Okay.
Hobby Lobby had something very similar that I almost bought for $15.
What?
I gotta look at this. I want to see this again because I bought it last year for school, like the teacher one.
I don't like the teacher one. Well, I don't not like it, but where's the Erin Condren? I just need her page. Here it is, erincondren.com. I'm still on the Zoom. You can come in. I'm just letting you know. Life planner, is it the, oh gosh. I think it's a monthly planner. I had it saved on here at one point. So you can pick out design type. Whatever, I'll just pick one. I don't care. My computer's slow. Well, these are only 40. This is not the one I'm talking about.
I just wondered how you like the layout.
Well, the one that I was looking at, maybe it's the life planner. It's got the month, and then it's got like goals in there and things like that, and then it's got the hour to hour thing.
Oh, okay.
So is this it? I know there's 60. Yes, this is it. I think.
$55 one.
Yeah. It's got. Here we go. Sorry. So it's got that, obviously, you know, what you want, the overview. That's not the layout I'm going to get right here.
Okay.
I think you can get the option. This is the layout I like. I like the hour to hour. I just work way better. So I could be like, okay, Beachbody, you know, and I will have my, and then there's these pages where you can kind of put like overall goals and things like that. Things you need to do, like monthly goals, things like that. And then that's it. But anyway, I just function better with planners like that. But maybe I will go to Hobby Lobby before I spend $60 just to kind of see what they have.
Well, I know I like, this is the smaller notebook, but I like their planner, and I got to get a new one. And that's at Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, the Happy whatever.
Happy? Okay.
I don't remember.
All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Okay, I'm going to pull up this. So anyway, I think first things first is identify what's going to work for you to organize your time, because even if you're not a time organizer, you need to become one. And I'm speaking to all of us teachers and people that have jobs outside of the home. Whether you're a teacher or you have kids that are online learning, we have to, or time will get away with us. So I don't know how to turn this into a big screen. So you're going to see all my notes. Do you guys remember seeing this PowerPoint by chance? No? Okay. I did it at one point. I don't know. So time is one of the things that can either kill you or drive you. And I think the biggest thing is recognizing that you are 100% in control of your time. And oh my gosh, did I start recording? I hope I recorded. I think I did.
Yes.
You are.
Okay. It's either something where, and it really starts with your mindset. If you believe that you have no control over your time, you are probably one of those people that, you know, is a big deterrent. It's really, you struggle with it. But if you switch your mindset to, I am going to gain control of this so that, and truly we all are in charge of what we do. You know, Sarah worked later today because it was a priority for her to get that, and that's important to her. So she made that decision. She made a good decision to do that. There's going to be days where we have to prioritize family or our other job or me time, things like that. But that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your business altogether. So it's really important to kind of understand that no matter what, you are in charge, and don't lose sight of that. And quite frankly, I mean, every day we have a choice. And so we have to kind of reclaim that ownership every day. And, you know, when we have a busy day or there's some stressful things, comments being made at work or whatever, like Christy, you were talking about, being able to recognize like the things that you are in charge of and the things you're not. And some of those things you're not in charge of are people. And you really can't, it's hard not to carry it home at times, but it's one of those things where you just got to compartmentalize, kind of like you're going to do with time. So the calendar, like we talked about, figure out something that works for you. And it can't be like a bunch of messy, I know some people work well in messes, but having some sort of organizational system that's not messy, a tracking system, something that you can see what's going on, that you know exactly where and when you're supposed to be, when you need to be, and that you're able to block out your time when you're going to be working your business, even if it's for 15 minutes, like Sarah was saying before. You can build your business in 15 minutes a day. And there's a few activities that should be a must do every day, no matter what is going on. If nothing else happens, you can spend the 5 to 15 minutes doing it. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Obviously, a tracking system is important, whether it's Teamsy, Asana is, I think, a free one, Streak, or a calendar, or a notebook. A notebook's fine too, as long as you can be organized with it. I just put a dry erase board. You don't need a dry erase board, but I use one. It's just a nice visual. And sometimes having something, this is generally if you have a workspace, something so you can put your goals up there. This month I will, you know, earn X amount of money, you know, or this month I will lose those 5 pounds, whatever you want for your goals. Okay, he's just joining. So really want it to be more of a planned effort, especially now that many of us are back to work, or kids are back to school. We need to approach things differently than we did in the summer, where we had a little bit more time where we could be like, oh, I'll just work later. No, we don't have that flexibility now. We're not at that, you know, place. So this is just some self-reflection. Think about, you know, when you are burned out, how are you spending your time? You know, when you're tired after a long day, what are there some time wasters that aren't re-energizing you? Because you need things that are going to re-energize you too. I know sometimes I might sit down and scroll, and that doesn't re-energize me. What does re-energize me? Me and Cole went for a bike ride. We went for a 20-minute bike ride. That re-energized me. Right, Cole? Mm-hmm. Yep. It really did. I was a little tired after work, and we did go on the bike ride, and it gave me some energy. And so that was a good thing. That was definitely not a time waster. That was a good time spent. And then obviously these calls sometimes feel like, oh, I got to do this, but I always do get energy from it. So I think that's important to always remember. What are the things that lift you up and bring you up? And then what are some things that are important to you? That family time, you know, so make sure you identify, grab a piece of paper, maybe after this call, or you can jot it down as I'm talking. What are the non-negotiable things that you need during your day? You got your work time, you've got family time, spending time with your kids if you have kids, or spouse or significant other, whatever that means. Those need to be non-negotiables too, because we're not here to make this business take over your life. You need to be able to have that level of balance. And then think about the areas that really is just like, I don't need that. That's not giving me energy. Get rid of that. And this is where it's going to open up some spaces for you to do power pockets or a power hour, things like that. This is where the anal retentive part of you needs to kick in. Here, do not follow this business hour schedule. So I would recommend, and this is what I was doing when my business was thriving, is Sundays taking a nice evaluation of my week. And now that my kids are getting older, granted we're not doing much in sports. Jason is doing baseball, fall ball, so we have that. But I need to look at like what appointments do we have this week and kind of map out my week. Literally, okay, from this time to this time, this is my priority. This time to this time, this is my priority. This time to this time, priority. And then you're going to see the spaces in your week. You kind of have to be anal. Take the 20 to 30 minutes on Sunday. Make that a priority to do that. And then identify where you're going to work. And that's going to be your priority. And work does include your workout. It includes that. I think working out is part of my business. So working out is part of my work, is part of my business. So you're going to put that in your calendar. It's not always going to be perfect. There's going to be weeks where something happens and it throws your schedule up in the air. It's not the end of the world. And those are the days where you just do the main couple of things that we need to do. And I have that list later on. So this is an activity I highly, highly encourage. After you get your planner, you're going to identify those business hours every Sunday. Hopefully your business hours can stay the same every week. That'd be great, but that doesn't always happen. You know, just with crazy schedules and whatnot. But set out those business hours. Make it a priority. Treat your business like a business, like you were opening up a brick and mortar. So this is an example of sort of what my business hours look like right now. I need to really get in here and do this over. So I would put this down, and my family doesn't really need to know about my early, they're all sleeping. But when it's like 7 to 9 p.m., like the call night, you know, they know that I'm busy during this time. Saturdays, I'm probably going to revamp this. So this is just, I just kind of threw this out there. So identify what those hours are during the times that it affects your family. Let them know this is my me time. Make an arrangement for them if they need arrangements. If you have a power hour, if your power hour needs to happen at night, or your power 15 minutes. I think a power 15 minutes once a night is wonderful. Like if you can do that, I think you're going to be in a good place. That, you know, you still have to post and all those things. So write those business hours down, maybe in your planner, like there's a sheet in there that has your business hours. If it changes every week, you got to update it every week, and it's got to be written down in your planner. I have a snuggly boy here. So this is just a quote that has always resonated with me, doing the things that people won't do. A lot of people won't do this. It's a simple activity, but you will see significant growth in your business by just doing this activity. And it was reaffirmed when I'm about halfway through Eat That Frog. And this is one of the things he said, you spend the 20 minutes to organize your week. And then one of the other things he talked about was doing the big things first. And kind of what Sarah was saying, she's like, one of my big things is not to evaluate my social media right now. On those busy days, my big things are invitations and reaching out to people. So, so next, the thing you're going to do after you have your business hours, you need to have an exhaustive list of what needs to be done for the week. Okay. What are the things that, you know, the whole thing, everything that needs to be done. This is an example of all the things collectively from Sunday to Sunday that I need to get done. And so I put daily because that means every day. This would be plugged into my power hour. So I would literally write it in my planner, you know, during that time that I'm working. Let's say I work during Melissa's power hour, 7:30 to 8:30. I'll put 15 minutes, message 5 people or 3 people or 2 people. Maybe that's not really 15 minutes. That's like a handful of minutes. And this messaging is just saying hello, reaching out, connecting, right? And then spending, maybe this might take a little bit longer, 10 minutes, inviting. And then spending another 5 minutes doing the business opportunity. These are your top activities right here. Follow-ups are good too, if you have time follow-ups. These are your Eat the Frog activities that should be done daily. All this other stuff, you know, I mean, obviously we should be posting and stories and things like that. Personal development, I think we all do that with no problem. The working out, we do no problem. This is obviously an extra, commenting on people's pages on Instagram. The reason I say that it's a good way to get followers is if you go to your hashtags that you have identified and find some people on there and you comment on their photos. So that's not top priority, but it is something that you can do if you have the time. Look at your Coach Online office, you know, messaging the new customers, etc. Talking to your coaches and discount coaches. So on those busy days, you're not going to do these things, but you're going to plug it in during your business hours at one point in your week. So spend that time, like I said, Sunday, after you put your business hours in, then you're literally going to write all these things down. So, okay, so my weekly shout out, I'll put it in probably Thursday, you know. I have not been super consistent with this yet, but now I'm doing this and this is kind of kicking me in the butt to do this. Checking in my challenge groups, obviously we do that. So you might, you know, kind of, that only takes a few minutes. Zoom calls, you plug those in. Your weekly and monthly goals, those are always good. Tracking your money, that's always a good thing. There might be other things you have on your list, but plug it into those business hours that you have identified so that when you go to work, you know exactly what you need to do. You don't get distracted by all the frivolous things going on Facebook world, especially with the election coming up and all the COVID things and all this stuff that people have a lot of opinions about. It's easy to get distracted. So when you go into work, you already know when you're working and you know exactly what you need to do. And quite frankly, you can fly through a lot of these activities if you're laser focused. Obviously it helps with friends around too when we're working together. That's kind of a nice thing. When we have those power hours together, kind of keeps me motivated. So like I just said, plug it into your business hours and prioritize the activities. Like I said, you're gonna, hold on honey. You're going to pick those real important activities on those crazy days where you don't have anything in the tank. Take 10 minutes, do the few things, and shut the phone off after that. And you can feel like you're gonna move your business forward just by, you know, connecting and inviting, doing a couple connections and a couple invites on those days where you don't have much in the tank. Don't do nothing. You always do something, and those are the things you do. Oh, here's the no matter what's. Okay. Even though I kind of said it before. Expanding your network, saying hello to 2 to 3 people, inviting, talking to one person about coaching, follow-ups. We know the frogs are the invites. And we know we work out every day. So these are the no matter what's we should be doing every day. And truly, this can take 15 minutes. It can, if you choose and you're not distracted. So if you take anything away from this, if you can do if you have a crazy week ahead, do 15 minutes every day and just do these things. So now what? I think I've already told you all the things. Get the calendar, figure out your business hours, plug it in, put the blinders on, and have fun. Check them off, cross them off as you do it. You're going to feel very productive doing that. And what also is a nice thing to do is what I do, which helps motivate me a little bit. I track my volume, track it and see where the growth is with your change in behaviors. See how it's growing. When I look at volume, I look at my weak leg volume. Some of you, your weak and your strong are very similar, but track it and see if you're noticing a difference in the output. Obviously track your income too. It's almost like, look at it on, if you can look at like a graph, you're probably going to start seeing some growth. Because you're doing the little things, and it's like the compound effect. All these little things are eventually going to compound to something larger, and do it every day, even the 10 minutes. If you can do the 10 minutes, if you can do 2 hours, fabulous, but most of us don't have 2 hours left in the day. And then each month, it's a good idea. Is this always necessary? But it's a really good idea to kind of evaluate your goals, look at your challenge groups. If you have a dry erase board, that's always good too. But if you have a calendar that's got the month out, look and see what's going on. Okay, I've got this challenge group coming up, just so you can visually see it. And then kind of identify, what's my goal? I want to sell 2 challenge packs a week. I think that's a great goal. 2, 4, 6, that gives you 8 points, or whatever it might be. Make it that, or maybe it's 3 challenge packs a week, you know, if you really want to up the ante a little bit. Identify it, look at it every day, because saying it out loud, you're training your brain to think differently when you're saying, you know, I'm going to hit this goal, I'm going to be able to do this thing, I can do this even when I'm really busy, I have a lot going on, but this is a priority, and I know it's a priority for everyone on our, pretty much everyone on our team. And that's it. I think the biggest thing is, I'm going to stop share, is keeping it simple, but being intentional, being super intentional with your time right now. And so this is where I got motivated about a planner. I'm a planner person. I like planners, and looking at what are my really important business activities. I also have that tracker. Sarah, I don't know if it's in Goal Getters or not. I know it's in the Go Green group. That tracker I thought was really good. Another kind of like the must-dos. But identify what your must-dos are. That was just an example. So that's what I got for you guys. Sarah, did you have anything to add? What were some of your other thoughts when we chatted?
I took a picture of that exhaustive list on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And there's probably more.
No, I think
are different too.
Oh, go ahead. Are you talking about the tracker in the Push to Emerald group that it was the image?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing I always think back, like, how did I get to Diamond? So when I started, you know, you're teaching full time, and I had 3 little kids, and they were all in sports, and it was doing exactly what you said. No matter what, I would devote, like when kids went to bed, even, and I'm not suggesting you sacrifice sleep, but I would devote at least 20 minutes, and I always did 5, 3, 2. I reached out to 5, I invited 3, and I followed up with 2. Every day I did that. Every day.
And that's
and
a really good, that you can remember
just
that.
all 5, 3 got me to Diamond, because I felt like, oh, I can't do. And that was like 20 minutes. And then I was also putting time, you know, I think your business ebbs and flows. I was putting time into some trainings. Now, more of my time goes into, like, we're developing those videos for our Emerald group, or I met with a coach today for an hour, or so it ebbs and flows with that. But always, always, always that 5, 3, 2. And it works.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great one. It's like having, okay, the days that I can't follow my schedule that I've planned, I have this 5, 3, 2, you know, that I can do 15 minutes before I go to bed. After the kids are in bed and I'm laying in bed, I can do that. You know, we can do, no matter how busy you are, you can do these little things. Because the worst thing you can do for our business is to stop and do nothing. I wouldn't say it's the worst thing you can do, but it really stops your growth. If you've made progress, it's going to pull you down. If you've made progress and you do these little things, you're still going to make progress. It may not go as fast, but you're going to be making progress, as opposed to when you stop, people stop looking at your page. They stop doing, you know, they're not sure what you're doing, you know, that kind of thing. So I think it's important when you get overwhelmed not to just stop, but to, and I'm speaking to myself too, so don't, I'm not trying to like talk off a soapbox. But Sarah, you're a perfect example of that, because you haven't stopped and you've grown even when life has gotten crazy and busy, and you've done the little things, or the most important things, I should say. You've done the most important things, even if that's the only thing you do. You do those important.
Well, interesting, you talked about tracking volume and income. I relate it, Melissa T will get this. I relate it to my reading Dibble scores. When I'm reading with a kid, my best readers, this happens. They read, and they go up, and then the next week they drop, and they zigzag all the time. Melissa, do you know what I'm talking about? So it's words per minute. So one week it's 80, then it might be 70. then it's 82 and it might be 74. So they zigzag, they go up and down, but the bottom number continues to rise. And I've noticed that with my income, especially this year. So like last week wasn't as much as the week before, but it wasn't as low as it's ever been. The bottom keeps going up. So you're zigzagging, and your zigzag, your income or value might increase and decrease from week to week. But when you look at it over the course of a year, it's slowly, steadily going up if you're working.
Right.
If you're working and doing
right. 100%. I love that. I love it. Well, there's kids, because I mean, I don't do the dibbles and I don't do the all the testing that we do, but I've been in there, and I love, now granted I work with middle schoolers, I love when they ask, what was my score last week? Because they want to beat it, and so that's their little way of tracking, like, I want to beat that. And so they have a little competition with themselves. But it's kind of the same thing with weight loss too, right? When people weigh yourself, and you weigh yourself, and it's never going to just go like this. Never. It's always going to go like this. Your weight, well, I guess weight loss would go down. But I mean, that's why I try to tell people, like, it's going to go up and down. I mean, it depends on if you had salt at dinner, or if you drank more water, or whatever, or if you had a pop. It's kind of the same thing. It's just slowly you're going to see a trend.
Yeah, and I have to remember that, because I get frustrated some weeks. I'm like, oh my gosh, my income seems so low. Well, low compared to what?
Right.
Because compared when I started 5 years ago, it's not that low.
Can you imagine if I were to quit work and you got the income you got this week? You'd be like ecstatic.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's not where I want it to be, and I fall short of goals a lot, but sometimes I forget where I was at.
Right. 100%. So let's energize each other. I think we just need to reach out when we're feeling drained, and kind of help energize each other, because we're all making progress, in whatever capacity we're focusing on, especially if we're just doing the small things, the little things that are important.
So can we all commit when we get off this call, and I know you're drained and exhausted, but can we all commit to a 5-3-2, like reach out to 5 people who liked your stories and tell them, thanks so much for supporting my journey. Boom, done. There's your 1 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 invites and 2 follow-ups. And your follow-ups could be with a challenger or a coach on your team.
Mm-hmm.
But get that done today.
I love it. Perfect.
I think that's doable. Christy, are you raising your hand? My kids were doing that today in the Google.
Nope, I'm in. I got this.
Fire. You and Sarah both had top 10.
I don't know.
Top 10 in sweat.
Sometimes it's just, how things just happen, and you're like, oh, that worked out well. But you know what? To give credit, I am doing more than I used to, and I know Christy's doing more than she used to. You know what I mean? So those small things, even though I'm like, I'm not doing what I think I could do, it works. I love your puppet. What's your puppet? Did you?
I was like, I have no idea where this crazy looking puppet came from, but I think I need one for 3rd grade.
I've had that puppet for 20 years. I
was
put it on my
stressed at
story.
work, and I saw it, and it made me laugh. So thanks. That was a good one.
Stories, I'll look.
I went on a Google Meet in the afternoon, and the kids, when they can't get into the meet until I do, so I had music going, and all they could see was my arm and a puppet, and he's like a monkey puppet, and he was dancing he was dancing for them and talking in a puppet voice.
It was funny.
So I put a little. I did it for 3 minutes though, and my arm was getting tired. Like, I need to do the puppet with my right arm tomorrow. My arm was on fire. Muscle memory.
That's hilarious. I laughed at your post about the bag on the head. And he said Brody came up to me and was like, what do you got that on for? And you were like, so-and-so's coming over. And he's like, oh, okay. Laughing so hard.
Out of that post, I had 3 vodka waters before that. But a mom was like, hey, can we come over? And I'm like, I look terrible. I haven't showered. I don't have any makeup on. I only brushed my teeth. Yeah, so I quickly put that bag on my head. Yeah, Brody's like, why is there a bag on your head? And I'm like, the Hanlons are coming over. And he goes, oh, okay.
Just, you know, mom doing her thing.
So weird.
You should bring out your little hands, those little hands from the hand game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I need to bring those out.
I need
Because I'm-
to have those in my home. And then you can wave to your students with it.
I need to do that. Pretend I'm
Hi. You gotta bring those bad boys out for your students. So,
I do.
all right.
This was good, Sarah. Thank you for all of the reminders. I took
Sure.
a lot of notes.
It was
Cool.
good. Thank you.
Cool. Hopefully it was helpful.
Have more energy. I know I got on and looked like a zombie, but
It's
you
okay.
girls gave me.
Well, and that's what I've been finding for the power hours even when you join for a little bit of time, like, oh, I've got energy, was tired, exhausted, like going, oh my God, nobody's gonna come. And then people just start popping up like, oh, okay, cool. Now I got energy.
Right. 100%. 100%. So, all right, girls. Well, I'm going to go do my 532 as soon as I find my phone. My phone's been hijacked, but I will find it.
Whether when it's done or in the level up.
Oh, Stephanie's gonna take pictures.
No, I was looking at DoorDash. I haven't eaten. I'm going to order some. Sorry.
Well, you held it up. I'm like, oh wait, oh okay.
No, I had to plug it in because it's going dead.
I had a bevy.
Stephanie, how's your health?
Okay, I don't have to have surgery yet. They're going to look at me again in February. I do have a defect of some kind, but they're going to monitor it. He didn't think at this time he wanted to do surgery yet. So they're going to look in February. I have to have that test done again to look at kidney function. If the kidney function is going in the wrong direction, they will probably do surgery. But right now, they're just going to watch it. So that's good. I don't have time for surgery. I don't have time. No time for surgery, so that worked out.
Are you in pain?
What?
Are you in any pain?
No, but he did tell me to watch it. I've had 2 of those episodes. He said if I continue to have those, we might want to reevaluate. So no, I am not, which is good. Sometimes when I work out, I can feel it. And I don't know if I'm just feeling it because it's ab work or if I can feel what's going on. So I'm a little cautious with that, but hopefully I won't have any more episodes and it'll just, I guess I was born with this defect and I didn't know, and now it's starting. He said because your body shifts around. Right. When you get old and things move, and I guess it's pinched more than it was, and so we'll watch it. But thanks for asking. I'm good. I'm happy I don't have to have surgery. So is Libby.
Oh, I bet.
And Keegan's happy because they won't be able to put the chip in me that he thought they were going to put in me during surgeries. We're good.
Aw, that's good.
Yep. All right, I'm going to eat and then I'll do my thing. I'll do the 532.
532 and put it in level up. All right,
Yep.
cool.
Cool.
All right, girls, have a good night.
You too. Bye.
We'll talk to you later. That ended it.